Hi, I'm Clark County Poet Laureate Angela Brommel, and today we're talking with Bruce Isaacson, our inaugural Poet Laureate 2015 to 2017. Thanks for coming out, Bruce.
Nice to see you. Good to be with you.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
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 Well, I was really excited to have you come in today and have a chance to catch up with you, hear some of your work, and make sure that everybody knows that you are still doing a lot of the same things that you did as Poet Laureate.
Well, we're still very busy. I'm involved or helping to lead Poetry Promise, which has a whole bunch of a variety of poetry programs are being run throughout the valley. They're programs that people can get involved in, and plus we have the Poets at the Schools program, which is moving actively, putting working poets from our community in classrooms, safe keys, after school programs, and other public spaces with students. And that helps inculcate, I hope, a love of writing in the students and makes them better appreciators of the language.
So we might have some people who are not familiar with Poetry Promise, but one of the things that's so amazing about it is that was one of your projects when you were Poet Laureate, to create a designated nonprofit so that we could take in grants and private gifts and fund more poetry programs, and that the Poets in the School program also was created from Poetry Promise. So this didn't exist before your term in the project that came after, and so
that's right.
It's huge.
Well, we built Poetry Promise. Initially, it was really just an adjunct to the Poet Laureate programs, and still does many things in common to support the Poet Laureate programs. But it's also expanded where we've been running readings. The reading that I started running in 2015 at Winchester continues, though as we all did, we made adjustments during COVID, and it's gone to be more of an online reading, though it's once a month at Winchester. Plus, we have Poets at the Schools is the great program I described previously, and it was funded also by Clark County, and then the state of Nevada's fiscal recovery funds have gone towards that, and it's something that's good for students and good for the poets too.
Right. Before I ask you a few more questions, I wondered if maybe you could read something new to us, or new to me.
Yeah, I would love to. So this, I have a new book that's going to come out this year, and this is it's very Nevada oriented. I'm out there at the on the 13-mile loop, on a semi-regular basis, trying to slow down the aging process, as they say. And this poem is called Beautiful and Savage. Halfway through the 13-mile loop, heading downhill, round a corner, and standing 30 feet from the road, two young mule deer bucks, huge, bigger than a man, 3 antler points each, fearfully watching me speed downhill, their only motion, brown eyes watching me go too fast to stop, wondering if I'm safe. At the bottom on Blue Diamond Road, almost done now, a dust-up by the other side of the pavement, dust shooting up in a whirlwind cloud 3 feet high. I get closer, and 2 huge brown wings emerge, at least 5 feet wide, flap once, twice, thrice, struggling to get in the air, crossing Blue Diamond in front of me. He's only 4 feet off the ground now, turns to me, face like an owl, in his claws a rabbit, struggling but skewered, dripping. I'm close enough to fear running into him as he turns those raptor eyes, 1,000,000 years old, at me, reaching 6, 8, then 10 feet aloft. The power of those wings. Rabbit now still, as he disappears into a peach shade morning sky. Sky over crimson striped mountains, in a world that is beautiful, beautiful and savage. A poet watches, doe-eyed.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a shift for you from some things that I heard before. And I think about what you said about how things have changed over the last couple of years. Before, a lot of your work was about poets gathering inside, but now this is about you outside in your area.
Well, I still write about friends and poets and the community, but I think you're right that the locus of my attention is expanded somewhat. And how can one not be moved by what goes on in the world around us, the physical world, not the world of newspapers and such, but the physical world that we all inhabit. And every so often you just reach up, look up, see something astounding, take a deep breath, kind of can't believe it. And I think that's the inspiration for poetry is there somewhere in those moments, and those are important.
That's wonderful. So are the other pieces in the collection, are they more along the lines of this, or how is this book different? Or
well,
maybe the same?
No, I like to think it's better. I like to think it's the best book. The title, I think, is going to be Small Purpose, Great World. That's
gorgeous.
Where I associate myself with the small purpose moving through the great world. And it's this collection of all of our individual purposes, which when we experience them, our individual purposes are quite small, quite focused, quite a narrow area. But all of them moving together make up, what is the great world around us. So, I hope I'm going to capture some of that, and it'll be interesting or helpful to readers.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I am looking forward to that. Be sure to check the Clark County Poet Laureate page for upcoming events in the Writer Ready series and other events like Poetry on the Plaza. Have a great month and happy writing.